7 rolls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 toothbrushes. Yes, I cleaned up in the shower card game this week. Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. Yeah, I was just excited for my winnings. I know you guys are probably enjoying luxuries out there in the real world, but hey, these are hot commodities here in the shower prison, okay? Trust me. Anyways, enough about me. This is what we got for you guys this week in the Degenerate gambling life.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to volume number 13 of the Degenerate Gambling Life. I hope you all had a great week in fantasy football. Now sit back, make yourself a drink, and enjoy while we do the homework for you.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Well, I know a few teams had a rough week, the 49ers, the Eagles, but the fantasy stars continue to shine. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. The things that we got right. I finally came through for you guys, and I got some defenses right. I actually got all four that I listed, even the desperation one. I know the super desperation one didn't hit, but at least it would have gave you 3 points. But I'm glad that I was able to come through for you guys and get you some streaming defenses. Okay, everyone, felt good to let out that Braveheart victory scream for coming through for you guys. So let's move on to our stuff. Kevin coming through with that call of Tyreek Hill being the stud of the year. I mean, it seems like every single week he's going off for 30 plus points. Hopefully the injury doesn't really hurt him too bad. Let's go on some other things that we've been getting right. Jacob, you know, he's been telling you guys, different people pick up. Sam Howell, he had 3 touchdowns for you guys this week if you would listen, Jacob, and you needed him. Also, Dalton Schultz, he's turned into just a touchdown machine after I tried to say goodbye to him. So hopefully you can scoop up Dalton if he's available. Same thing with Rashid Rice. I feel like Jacob keeps begging you guys to pick up Rashid Rice. He is that number 1 wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, and who doesn't want a piece of that offense, especially when it really starts to click. And you know, he is a rookie, so he should only be getting better and better as the season goes on. And finally, we got Jordan for keeping that internal flame going, his love for Wrexham. I think it's more for Ryan Reynolds, but you know, he keeps keeping us up to date with that, and we really do appreciate it. And now on to a few things that we got wrong. First off, you know, Jacob was wrong on Logan Thomas. He was coming through, and then this week, you know, he gave you barely anything. So sorry about that. Russell Wilson, just when you think you can put him in your lineup again, he lays that huge stud against a so-so Kansas City Chiefs defense. And finally, Jordan, for thinking Team USA would have a chance against Germany. Clearly, you know, USA is not ready for the limelight and being there with the big boys. I hope they are when it's time for that 2026 World Cup. But those are a few of the things that we got right and wrong.
Because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
What's up, guys? My name is Jacob Listowski with the Degenerate Gambling Life, and on this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about the best waiver wire pickups for Week 7. At QB, Sam Howell is still a good option. He's coming off a 3-touchdown game and has scored over 18 points per game, over 18 fantasy points in each of the last 3 games. Desmond Ridder is available in 90% of leagues and is an option if you are desperate at the QB position this week. Over the last 2 weeks, he's averaged 23 fantasy points per game. At running back, I like Anthony Ingram of the Arizona Cardinals. He's looking like the leader in that backfield, and that's a pretty crucial role in fantasy football, being the leader in the Cardinals backfield. He touched the ball 12 times last week and put up pretty solid numbers, so definitely give him a look this week. The number one guy on the waiver wire is going to be running back Jordan Mason of the San Francisco 49ers. He filled in well for Christian McCaffrey, averaging 5 yards per carry and scoring a touchdown. If McCaffrey misses extended time, he's definitely a guy you want to have. But don't forget about Elisha Mitchell either. He's another good option in that backfield. Devin Singletary is an interesting option as well. In Houston, he touched the ball 16 times last week and put up a solid performance, totaling 62 yards. He also saw 54% snap share, which was his best total of the season. Damian Pierce has had a very tough season so far, averaging less than 3 yards per carry, and that could give Singletary a lot more opportunities coming out of the bye week. Kareem Hunt is still available in over 60% of leagues and is coming off his best game of the season. He only saw a 37% snap share, but he still saw 12 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown, while also catching 3 passes. His role could continue to expand as he gets into better game shape, and he is an interesting player to keep an eye on going forward. Craig Reynolds at the Lions is another back to keep an eye on if Montgomery and Gibbs are both out in Week 7. Reynolds was not efficient carrying the ball this week, but he did look good in the passing game with 2 catches for 28 yards. He's known as a blocking back, so he definitely has that third down work capability. And he's worth picking up as a bye week flyer if you're desperate at running back and the other Lions backs don't play. At wide receiver, keep in mind that Deontay Johnson could be returning this week, so if he is somehow still available in your league, please pick him up. He's available in close to 30% of leagues, so you might be one of the lucky ones. Curtis Samuel had his 3rd straight week of double-digit fantasy points. He's the wide receiver 25 overall in all of fantasy this season, and he's still available in over 60% of leagues, so get him while you still can. Rashid Rice is another guy that we've talked about a lot. He's emerging as a go-to target in the Chiefs' offense. He saw increased snap share this week and looks like he could emerge as a second-half breakout rookie at the wide receiver position. We see it every year. Could Rice be that league winner in the back half of the season? I think he might. Also, Brandon Cooks, who is available in over half of leagues, finally had a good game tonight with the Cowboys. It could just be a fluke, but there are definitely worse players you could stash away considering Michael Gallup's struggles. At tight end, Johnny Smith has been very solid. He's seen at least 5 targets in each of the last 5 games and has been the tight end 9 overall this season. He's definitely worth a look from the waiver wire. Pat Freiermuth is still available in close to 50% of leagues and is making his return this week barring any setbacks. He's a great option if he's available in your league. And Dalton Schultz has caught fire over the last 3 weeks, scoring a touchdown in 3 straight games for a very good Texas passing offense. He's available in 49% of leagues and should be rostered in 100% of leagues.
Now, everyone, it's that heartbreaking segment. The players never wanted to let go.
Come back! Come back! I'll never let go. I promise.
This week, I'll be letting go Miles Sanders. I took you in that middle rounds thinking you were going to be a sneaky top-end running back. You were signed to a big contract for running backs, and you're in Carolina where you didn't have much competition. But you're proving why no one wants to sign running backs to anything anymore. Miles Sanders breaks my heart. I gotta let you go.
Zach Ertz. It started out so good, man. I never wanted this day to come, but you have 3 tough matchups in a row, so I have to let you go.
Well, we're adding another day here. Dalvin Cook not scoring a touchdown. And unfortunately, I got to give you this week's drop. Tutu Atwell. You were a great servant, and it's not your fault that we got to drop you this week. But Tutu, I mean, it's a Super Cooper Cup. He's coming back. He could just get the ground running, and Puka is just dominating, and I don't have any more room for you. I wanted us to be together till the end of the season, but it's not working out. I'll miss you, Tutu. I'll miss you.
Cam Akers, you gotta go. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get into those defenses for you to stream here on week number 7 in the NFL. We're going to start off with the Cleveland Browns versus the Indianapolis Colts. If you're lucky enough to be in a league where someone dropped the Browns because they saw they're playing the 49ers, scoop them up. That should be your top waiver wire for defenses if you need one, which would be the Cleveland Browns. Next, we're going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. They're playing the Arizona Cardinals. Wheels are starting to come off a little bit in Arizona, and Seattle's actually playing pretty decent. So Seattle's a defense where you pick up and stream. Next, we're going to go with my Packers against the Broncos. The Broncos, we all know, have been a mess. The Packers' strength is their defense and their secondary. So pick up the Packers if you need a defense. And finally, the desperation pick for defense, we have the Rams versus the Steelers. And, you know, the Steelers O-line just really hasn't come together. It hasn't been good for a few years now. I'm looking for Aaron Donald to get a couple of sacks. So if you need a desperation defense to stream, you can pick up those Rams. Now let's switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit of fantasy basketball. And what I want to jump into is a player that's getting super undervalued. I've done a couple of drafts, and I've been able to scoop up Ja Morant. I know he has that 25-game suspension that's hanging over him, but when he comes back after that, he's going to give you at worst second-round value and most likely first-round value. So yes, he's going to hurt you, you know, for the first quarter of the season, but when he comes back through those playoffs for fantasy basketball, Ja Morant is going to be someone, and you pick him up in that 7th, 8th round. You know, I just didn't understand why he's sliding that far. And, you know, that's who I would be trying to target and look for. And that's one of the keys to fantasy basketball when you're drafting. Look for those undervalued players and scoop those up.
Jordan Tennis back with the Degenerate Gambling Life's Add a Minute.
I didn't think I'd ever need to tell you this, but I would be a bad parent if I didn't. Soccer was invented by European ladies to keep them busy while their husbands did the cooking.
Why do you have to hate what you don't understand?
I don't hate you, Bobby.
I meant soccer.
Oh, yeah, I hate soccer, yes.
And Cristiano Ronaldo is back in Europe on international duty with Portugal. Ronaldo's brace against Slovakia helped his home country continue their impressive form with 7 wins out of 7 games in the Euro 2024 qualifying campaign. I saw an insane stat that since turning 30 years old, Ronaldo has scored 72 goals for Portugal. 72 goals. That's pretty impressive since turning 30. That kind of firepower would make him the all-time leading goal scorer for heavyweights like Germany, France, Italy, England, Spain, and 187 other nations. That's pretty crazy. And with the win, Portugal has qualified for next year's European Championships along with Belgium, France, Scotland, Spain, Turkey, and the hosts Germany. We'll cover the field for the 2024 European Championships once qualification is over next month. Now on to the United States men's national team. They took on Germany over the weekend for an international friendly in Connecticut. Christian Pulisic opened the scoring with a beautiful goal in the 27th minute, cutting from the left side of the pitch before draining a goal with his right foot from outside of the box. It was about all we had to cheer for as U.S. fans. It was all Germany for most of the game from there. Gundogan, Füllkrug, and Musiala provided 3 unanswered goals for Germany. And quite frankly, they could have scored a lot more as they outshot the U.S. 19-6. It seems the absence of Tyler Adams due to an injury played a major role in the disconnect of the United States men's national team being able to cope with the Germans counterattacking. Weston McKennie and Yunus Musa, while both great, were incapable of filling the boots of Adams, and that's not a knock to those two. It's more of a praise to the talent of Adams and what he can bring to the table. If Adams can stay healthy and Berhalter can stay out of the way, this should be a solid team going forward. And speaking of Berhalter, many United States national team fans, myself included, were surprised Greg Berhalter was brought back into the fold as manager following the 2022 World Cup and the drama with the Reynas. It was great to see Gio Reyna back on the team, but Berhalter has a lot of work to do, mostly on the defensive side of things, to get this young team of budding stars ready to compete for the 2026 World Cup here in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Time will tell if bringing Berhalter back to manage this team was the right call. I personally don't think so, but I'm remaining optimistic. I believe he was brought back because there wasn't really any other manager options out there who didn't carry a huge price tag. I truly do hope I'm wrong, because this will be a special group, and coming up, we need the stability throughout this organization in the years leading up to the tournament here. Keep an eye out for shorts this week. We'll be highlighting players who have retired this past year, and there are some absolute legends. I just saw a meme the other day, and I was surprised of all the players that had retired this year, and we're going to cover that in shorts this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Volumes Added Minutes. We'll see you next week. Club football will be back, baby. Have a good week.
Let's jump into a poker hand and how I think I'd maximize value, kind of give you a trick to have in your back pocket. So the hand's at WinStar Casino. We're playing 1-2, and let's go ahead and jump into it. The under the gun position, they raised to $8, middle position, and hijack call. I'm in the cutoff, and I look down at the beautiful ace king of hearts, and I 3-bet to $37. Now the button calls, the under gun, the original person who opened up the bet, they call the middle position and the hijack call, and I'm not really shocked. Even though it's in Oklahoma, it's a Texas table, and everyone plays super wide and aggressive here. So we go super multi-way to a flop of jack of hearts, 8 of hearts, 7 of hearts. I mean, can't ask for anything better from the poker gods. So we flop the nut flush, okay? I know it's not the absolute nuts because 10-9 of hearts could got there, but we flopped the ace high flush. So when it happens, it checks around to me, and I want to c-bet here. A lot of people check when they flop super strong, but there's jacks that can be out there. There's people with straight draws, maybe other flush draws, and I think it actually kind of disguises my hand a little bit. So I throw out a bet of $28, and it folds to under the gun, and they call, and the hijack call. The turn comes a 4 of clubs, and it checks to me, and this is where I want to get a little tricky. It's a little play I would call them stop and go. So I check here, adds a little bit of deception, like, you know, maybe I was just continuating bet on the flop, and, you know, when they called, it's slowing me down. So I check here with hopes on the river that I can, you know, get even more value. And so we go to a river, and the river is the 6 of diamonds. So a lot of straights now complete. You know, I actually consider a pretty good card, and I get lucky that the iron gun, he now leads out for $82. The hijack thinks about it, and he calls. And so then when it gets to me, I ponder for, you know, 5 seconds or so, and I go all in, knowing that the iron gun didn't have much behind. I'm trying to get maximum value out of the hijack. So the iron gun, they had, you know, 20, 30 something left, and they put in the rest of their stack. And whenever it got to hijack, they think about it, and, you know, I'm hoping and praying that they call and they do find the fold. They later, tell me that on the river they made 2 pair, and that's why they called the 82, but they just couldn't call that big of a bet, against 2 players. And so I understand that fold. And whenever I call, they immediately flip over their Jack 10. They had the 10 of hearts, so I think they thought there's a chance they're good. I didn't slow roll them, and I flip over my ace king of hearts, show them the bad news. And I think that check on the turn, along with betting on the flop, making it seem like I was just continuation betting, helped me get maximum value out of that hand. So hopefully that maybe helps you guys whenever you're in a situation like that. You don't always just want to check down, because if it's check all the way to the river and all of a sudden you bet, a lot of times there's only monsters that are left there on the river. And so don't be afraid, especially on a dynamic board like that, when there's straight draw, flush draws, things like that. People could have flopped a set, 2 pair. Go ahead and lead out, even if you flop the essential nuts. Couple of things to talk about. We got some gear. I'm wearing part of it. Got some hoodies. So if you guys are interested, comment, reach out to us, and we will sell you some of those. Next, we're going to be in Vegas this week. All right, October 19th and 20th, we'll be playing poker. Most likely, as I said before, we'll be playing at Caesars, Mandolin Bay, Orleans, South Point, maybe MGM. Come say hi to us if you felt one of us, or if we felt you. We'll give you a hoodie. I'll have some to sell, so please come up see us. Also, if you just want to meet up, grab a drink, enjoy the When We're Young Festival. I'm looking forward to see Blink 182, Sum 41, so it should be a really good time. And here in the future, we're also going to be at Vegas for the Super Bowl, so keep that in mind if you want to come hang out with us. So we'll be there for When We're Young, and if you haven't yet, please comment, link, share the link, and subscribe. We appreciate everything, and we look forward to seeing you in the next volume.